So I wanted to kind of give you a quick overview of some of the things that I created, and I'm going to go through a couple of the setups in Camtasia to show you a few tricks, basically. So what I'll do is I'm just going to bring the timeline over here. Notice that we've got a green background, so to change the green background, you right-click and you go to Project Settings. And for this, let's just say we want it white. So I clicked on that and clicked white and then apply. I created this title section here for you. So this is kind of a neat section. It resembles something that's on their site right now. So what we have here is a couple different parts. There's the screen title, title 1, title 2, welcome, the announcements, and this says already a member sign in. So what I've done is I've associated these different elements over here to the right. So if you want to do trading 101, I don't know anything about stocks or so I apologize, but that's how it works. So you don't have to click on the screen. You can just click right here on the right. So instead of saying welcome to, so notice how it's changing. So this is a blue font. If we want to change the font color, you can come over here, click that drop down, change the font color to whatever you want. But I'm trying to set it up so it's super easy for you, so you're not having to think about the different elements while you're setting this up. Once you get the hang of it, it'll be pretty quick and easy to make different slides using the same method. Title 1 and Title 2 is this is one line. So if we just wanted to say, so notice where I click off from there. The reason why I did Title 1 and Title 2 was to show you how it's going to look with two lines. So when it's one line, it's going to be centered in the middle of it. If you wanted to have it on the top, a couple different ways you can do it. The easiest way is probably to hold down your Shift key and hit Enter. And then what that does is it brings it down in there and it just kind of pushes it up. So you could have it that way if you wanted it. And again, same thing with the fonts, with all of these. The fonts style and the color can all be changed right there. Subtitle 1 and 2. Let's say you don't want a subtitle for whatever reason. Okay. So you just click delete and it's gone. The announcements. I was thinking something like, in this module you will learn how to log into the system. I hit Shift Enter, how to check your balance, how to, I don't know, work. I'm sorry, I should have come up with some better ideas. So this is what it will look like. That's how it will look. Now notice here on the bottom, I've got the copyright. This I got off from their page. So the copyright text, I click on here in order to get this pop up on the right. If you wanted to change the copyright text or whatever, you can go right down here. So it says bottom copyright text. I'm hovering over it, sub announcements, so you can change it right there. This is actually a really cool thing. I created a mask over a video, so let's just kind of look at how this is going to work. Let's go over here. Notice that the video is playing in the background. So if you wanted to have this, for a quick 3-second little intro, you could have it as a 3-second intro. If you want to have it play while you're talking or introducing whatever the subject is, you can also do it that way. So what you do is you drag this out as long as you wanted it. and bring it over here to the beginning, put it to the end, and I hit play. Now what's going to happen is, notice there's a couple of breaks in here. So this video will actually stop at some point. I didn't spend much time trying to pick out a video. We can do a couple different things with the video. I like this bear logo, the bull and bear. If you don't want to use something like that, I could replace anything or everything from here. But I want to at least show you where I'm at so far. So the video stops because you don't want to have a huge file on there that's just kind of sitting there. I can do a couple different things with that, and if you have a different video that you would rather play, we could swap that out pretty easily as well. So, alright, I'm going to move on. So here's our title screen. So the title screen, term screen. So this would be something that you would just dump in after wherever. Basically, I just set it up so that you have a screen that you can kind of have that has the terms on there. I call it the term screen. So here's a top banner. So again, see how it says title screen. You could come over here. It's pretty much that simple. And then the reason why I set it up this way is so that it's going to be standardized. So once you start creating this, they should all look the same, and moving forward, that's just how I would do it. I would try to create something so that you only have to do this once and then move on from there, and just work on the actual videos. So here's a fixed bottom screen I created. So you could have this on the bottom of every video, and I'm going to show you an example video. So how this would overlay on that, and the same thing with the top. So we could actually have the top and the bottom if you wanted to. If you wanted it like this, I probably wouldn't have the logo in both places, but this is a starting point basically. So from here, I'm hoping that I'll get some feedback and different direction from where you want to see things. This is a little logo, and it's actually a circle logo. Can't see it on the white. So it's a circle logo with a semi-transparent circle on it. I don't know. It was just kind of a neat way. If you wanted to use this instead of the fixed bottom, you could do it that way. And I just put this on there because I saw it on the site. They use a certain blue. So you could have this button if you want. I just call it a blue button. You can change the color, obviously. But if you wanted this button on there to say, don't forget. So as soon as I do that, there's the button. So that's that. I don't know about that button thing, but I saw it and I wanted to add it on there. So now let's get into seems like we've got a lot of different pieces here, and how do we keep it standardized? Obviously creating a template like this and then working always from the template is one way of doing it. What I'm going to do though is I've set it up so it's going to be a library. So I'm actually going to give you something where you're going to install a library. And when you come up here into any of your recordings, what you would do is you would come up to library, and then you would choose whatever you're going to name it. I'm just naming it the company name. And if you want the circle logo, then you're just going to drag down the circle logo. Whatever asset you want to use, you would come up here and then do it this way. So when you install this, if you make any changes on the page, like let's say you're changing a color or whatever, just because you're changing it on this section doesn't mean it's going to change up here in the library. So what I suggest is if you do make any changes or anything, I would right click, add to library, choose, you know, your whatever you name it as, and then choose a different name. So if we want to call it title section 1 or title screen 1. So now it's there. And if you want to delete it, you can delete it from here. Notice this pop-up. If you've used this asset in any other video, by deleting it here, it's going to delete it out of those other videos too, though. So that's one of the downfalls of using a library tool. But once you are, once we're set on a standardized vision, this would be something where you could just rock and roll and always just kind of pull it from there and drop it in. So, all right, let's go over here. I'll delete this. Let's say I just did a screen recording. I just went on YouTube and grabbed something. But this would be like your normal workflow would be, you're down here, you just did your tutorial on whatever, and now you wanted to kind of insert stuff. So I would come up to the library, and I would go to the title screen, and I would drop my title screen in here. Have the title screen there. I changed everything on the title screen that I wanted to change. All right, so this is good. I've made my edits. This all looks good. I've changed the audio, did whatever. So this is working. But maybe at the very beginning, before you even have the title screen, you want the terms screen. So let's say you want the term screen on there. See how that worked? I would probably set it up for transition though, just so it's not so abrupt. Perfect. The video's playing. This is all rocking and rolling. All right, so now we've got our video here. So what do we do now? Now we're going to come over, come up to my library, and I'm going to add on the video, I'm going to add a circle logo. Circle logo appears right there in the middle. I always drag it down there. But the neat thing, the reason why I set it up this way, is maybe you always want the circle logo in a certain corner. You can just move it around. Because of what you do though, and you're looking at so many graphs, having that on there might be a little distracting. So I'm going to show you another option. And the reason why I thought of this. So we're going to add the fixed bottom on here. I'm going to make it the full length of the video. Top banner, I'll put the top banner on here. Whoops. Put the top banner on there. So now we have something that looks pretty decent, but in this situation, we're kind of covering up some of the original screen. So I would come down here and reduce your screen size. Now pick a color for your background. Whatever. If you wanted it white. Whatever you wanted for your background. Now it's standardized, but what you've got is the top part, the video, the bottom part, and that's basically what you have. It's not perfect, but it's a way of doing it. Yeah, I'm not in love with this, but I wanted to at least give you the option because maybe you don't want the fixed bottom, you just want the top, and in that case, now it's a little better like this. So that's a way of doing it too. What we can do is if you want this top or bottom, what I can also do is I can come over here and change the video format of this. So now that widescreen video that we were just watching is now formatted so that this isn't stretched out. You don't see the background, you see your title. If you want to do it this way, let me know and I can set it up so that your project is, you could just insert your video basically. Because I think that's what you want to do. You just want to be able to insert your video so you can see the tutorial and not have to worry about the formatting. So that's basically that. I can definitely set those up for you. So that's what we've got so far, and I'm going to end it there.